your name and how to spell it.
Carolyn Jones, Carolyn Jones.
Okay. Tell me what happened to your daughter and when.
Uh, April 12th, I feel a little awkward. April 12th, we received a phone call from the Shenango County Sheriff's that Christina had been in a car accident in Oxford. We didn't know exactly what had happened at the time, but she'd hit a tree and that she had been airlifted to upstate in Syracuse. My husband went to Wilson Hospital for the grandson because he was in the accident too, and one of my older daughters, Stephanie, and I went to upstate. When we got there, they told us that she had a TBI, brain bleeds, broken femur, broken jaw. That was all they'd found in broken bones.
Tell me about Tanner. What happened to him?
Tanner was in the back seat. He had a broken collarbone. When EMTs arrived on the scene, he had crawled out the back window of the car. Somebody had stayed with him until they got there, but other than that, he was fine.
How old is Tanner?
Tanner's 5 years old.
And he crawled out the back of a car.
The back window because the window was broken. Yes.
As a mom, what was going through your head when you hear something like that?
I don't need to lose a child. The thing is, I went to bed that morning having a bad feeling that something bad was going to happen to her that day. It was just a motherly thing, a gut feeling that something bad was going to happen. I mean, I can't control life.
I'm sorry, can I have you do that sentence again?
Which one?
Yes.
I had a bad feeling that something bad was going to happen to her that day. I mean, I can't control life, so I didn't know if it was going to happen or not. And then we get the phone call that she was in the accident. And it's just a very bad feeling. I felt guilty after the fact, but not that I can do anything about that.
Now, tell me about the injuries that she had and how long it took to get any progress whatsoever.
Well, they had to cut her out of the vehicle. I know that. And they incubated her on the scene because she'd lost consciousness. So they airlifted her to the upstate, and they just told us that she had the brain bleeds, that she wasn't breathing on her own, the broken jaw, the broken femur. She had her leg in traction because of the broken femur. She was covered in bruises and glass.
How long was she in the hospital?
She was in upstate for 16 days before she came to Sunnyview. When she came to Sunnyview, she was a little respondent, but not very respondent. She wasn't walking. She had a trach put in, she'd had a feeding tube put in, and she had her jaws wired because she had the broken jaw.
Now, what was your understanding of what kind of therapy she would need to undergo and what her progress might be?
They told me that she had a long road ahead of her, and for her age, she did remarkably well for her age. That was the plus that she had. When they put the trach in, the following day they took the ventilator off her, and they never had to put her back on. And that had been 6 days from the accident.
Sounds like she's a fighter.
She is a fighter, but she's also a person that has low tolerance for pain, which really impressed me that, she just handled it very well.
What have you seen in her therapy therapy through her progress working at Sunnyview?
She came here on a Monday, and by Saturday they had her walking with a walker. On the Thursday of that same week, she had her trach taken out too. So
How surprised are you about that, or not?
very surprised. I am very surprised. I thought she'd have the trach in longer than she did. So, but I was very pleased with the therapy that she received here. She felt they were a little pushy, but that's part of their job.
So how long did she spend in Sunnyview overall?
She was in Sunnyview for a month.
And by the end of it, describe her status.
When she left here, she was walking on her own, chewing regular food.
What did it feel like? Did you think she would ever get to that point when that happened?
I thought it would take longer than it did to get to the point that she was at when she did get just discharged from here. Because I was very impressed with the staff here at Sunnyview, the nurses, the physical therapy, the doctor. They did an amazing job with her. I've also said if anything ever happened to me, I'd like to come here too.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Though I have one nurse that says to me, "You sure about that? I owe you big time."
What are your hopes for Christina now?
Her goals now, she wants to go back to work and be able to drive. That'll both take a little time, which is understandable, but she's doing great progress.
What did the doctors tell you this morning?
She's able to go home by herself, so no more supervision. Told her to start working with Vesed to go back to work part-time, hopefully in October. And she has to come back to see Dr. Shapiro in November.
How relieved are you now looking back on all this, seeing that she made out okay, that has goals lined up for herself? And
I'm very thankful that she's still here. I mean, she's my baby girl. She's the baby girl of the family, I should say. So she proved to us all wrong. You know, I wasn't giving up hope on her. I knew she could come through with this. I knew it was going to be a challenge. And thank God she's here today.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about Christina or this experience or Sunnyview that you want to share?
This accident has made me look at life totally different. Don't take it for granted. You can never tell what's going to happen to your loved ones.
How do you live each day now? How differently?
I don't think I live it any differently. It's just I just look at things differently. It's hard to explain. I've learned not to get myself worked up over things that, bad things do happen. When they called me on her accident, I was fine until I got to the hospital, and that's when I totally, completely lost it. And I hadn't even seen her. And I hated that feeling of being helpless, that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't take it from her. I would have rather been where she was than her there.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. You did great.
Wonderful.
You're also for you.
I didn't get
that.
I've got part of variety pack. Michelle took out the peach.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Okay. Christina, give me your name, how to spell it.
Christina Graham, CHRISTINA GRAHAM.
Are you good with audio? I just tweaked it up, yes. Now, tell me how old you are and what happened.
27 years old. All I remember is I got into a car accident. I mean, I don't remember how I got into the car accident. I don't remember anything about it. But I know I got a car accident. So
Did you black out? Were you conscious, unconscious?
I was told I was, but I don't remember a lot of it. So
Tell me what it felt like to suddenly have months of therapy in front of you.
I thought it was going to take a lot longer, but I'm surprised it's been fast. Everything's been fast for what I've already been through.
Tell me how, using Tanner's age, tell me how he came out of the accident.
He was good. He had a broken collarbone. That's about it. I mean, I'm glad that he was in the back seat, but I don't like the fact they sent him to another hospital. But I wasn't talking, so I couldn't say anything what hospital he went to, because I wasn't there with him either.
Tell me how you are now.
I'm good. I feel comfortable. Just going back to everything, eating-wise, I don't eat as much as like before. Sometimes I don't feel hungry as well. So sometimes don't go to bed. I'll go to bed without eating. So
What is normal in your life and what isn't normal for you now as a result of the accident?
Not working is weird. Not taking care of my son was weird, because I miss my son because he's my life.
Are you seeing him regularly? Or?
Oh yeah, I see him every day. He's always by my side.
Now, tell me how he's coming out of it.
He's good. He hasn't cried to me about the accident or anything like that, but I always say, oh yeah, that's what happened in our accident. Because we used to do stuff together a lot, but now since a car accident, we haven't done it. So, I mean, there's a lot of plans I had for the summer, but we couldn't do it because of the car accident.
You just saw the doctors today.
Mm-hmm.
What is the prognosis and what do you still have ahead for you?
Oh, I want to go home. Go back to work. I'm in a rush to do all that. Drive again. So.
You kind of take things like that for granted normally, don't you?
Oh, yeah. When do you have a person saying that they want to go back to work? You really never do.
What has been the driving force that gotten you through all of this? What's kept you going?
My son. Got to do it for my son. I know he needed me, and I'm the only person that he has.
Do you think the accident has affected you or Tanner in a psychological way or anything like that?
Maybe a little bit, but I try to forget that because that's part of life. Things happen. So.
Tell me about how the therapists here at Sunnyview were and how they helped you, what they did with you, what kind of exercises.
they did a lot for me, and I really appreciate them. Anything that wasn't good or whatever, they always corrected it. They try to make me a better person, you know. The most thing I had issues with was the whole walking again, making sure I can walk properly and stuff like that.
Describe to me some of the therapy exercises that they did with you.
Oh, with my legs, I had to lift them up and down. Oh, goodness. Don't remember anything else.
How much do you think that therapy and the staff here has helped you with your injuries?
But good. I have no issues with them at all. Don't like to be waking up so early in the morning. That's the only thing I don't like. Especially at like 10 minutes to 6 o'clock in the morning to take my blood. I don't like that part.
Did you ever think that you would get through this?
Yeah, I did. It's going to take some time, but.
What would you tell somebody who might be in a similar situation, who just got in an accident and is coming to Sunnyview? What would you tell them about this hospital?
It's good. I'll tell them it's good. They help me a lot, and they'll help you as well. They'll do everything with you. It's like I'm here and they're always there. They're always like by my side, you know? So if I walk the hallway, they got someone right next to me. They won't leave you alone.
What is the first thing you're going to do when you are done with rehab, you're done with therapy, and you are back to Christina?
Well, I'm done with everything. With all rehab, or done with the rehab and therapies and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what I would do, but I just want to get out there with my life.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about that you want to share?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Christina. There we go, that's much better.
Okay.
Show off the Sunnyview.
I know that's Sunnyview, yeah.
Okay, tell me, you're one of the therapists who worked with Christina. Tell me what you saw in the beginning.
Yeah, so I actually had the opportunity of meeting Christina the first day she got here. We call it an initial contact, so we kind of go in, meet the patient for the first time, try and get them up. So when Christina first got here, she was a little, what we term restless, you know, she was kind of moving all over in the bed, you know, was talking but not very, wasn't following all our commands or questions that we were asking, but she stood up with us and then proceeded to ask, all right, I'm done, and then sat right back down and got back into bed. But, you know, and from there, she worked with us every day. You know, sometimes we did have to give her some encouragement throughout. You know, she was working with a broken femur and also, you know, had a lot of jaw pain going on. But each day, she was able to push through it and work with us. We got her up walking first with a walker, and then she left Sunnyview walking without anything. So she progressed and, you know, was walking on her own when she left.
She didn't come in great shape. I mean, what kind of therapy did you have to do with her, and how quickly did that go?
So initially what we tried to do was more to get her used to being on her feet, get her standing again, tolerate standing, especially with the femur fracture. She hadn't been weight bearing on her leg in a couple weeks since she had been at Upstate. So we were trying to get her standing in the parallel bars first, get her used to putting weight on that leg. And from there we progressed her to taking small steps in the parallel bars. Then we were having her, you know, walk short distances with the walker. Same thing moving, trying to build up her strength and endurance. Also, we worked on just in general building up her strength in her legs. So we were doing exercises on the mat. And then a key component that we worked on prior to her leaving was working on her balance. So we really worked on making sure her balance, and she was able to recover and kind of correct herself if she did happen to lose her balance at home.
How pleased were you with her progress, and did you, was she an easy patient?
I mean, we were very pleased with her progress. When you initially read Christina's chart, you know, it had many, you know, all her deficits listed of unfortunately what happened in the accident. So you kind of couldn't imagine this poor, you know, poor girl, what had happened to her. But then when you went in, she was, you know, moving all around, and, you know, she would get up with us and move. Sometimes we did have to give her a little bit of encouragement. But, you know, normally once we kind of just joked with her, got her to laugh a little bit, then she was willing to participate in therapy. So, and towards the end, I think we had that point had developed much more of a like relationship, you know, so it was, you know, working towards a goal of getting her home, you know, where she was supervision, you know, where she could do most things on her own.
Do you expect I don't know what they say, 100%
Recovery?
Yeah.
I think at this time, you know, physically wise, there's no, you know, she has 100% recovery, you know, even though she had that femur fracture, you know, that healed well, and she was able to, you know, build strength and endurance back up where she's walking, you know, how she was prior to the accident.
How did it feel when you were working with her and seeing her take those steps that I see in the pictures?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously working with anyone and seeing the progress that they made, where she wasn't walking when she got here and then she walked out the door of Sunnyview. I mean, that alone just gives you, you know, that warm feeling inside. You know, we helped her achieve the goal that she wanted to. She wanted to walk out of here, be able to go home, see her son. So we were very happy with the progress that she made while she was here. Sorry.
How long have you been a therapist here, and what have you seen at Sunnyview?
Yeah, I've been a therapist here for 5 years. I've worked on the brain injury unit, you know, most of my time since I've been here. So we see a variety of different injuries, you know, and unfortunately, car accidents are one of the frequent injuries that we do see upstairs. And so that's why sometimes when you initially read someone's screen when they come in, you're like, oh my goodness, you know, sounds like they've been, you know, especially when we read Christina's, that she had, you know, she and her son were in the accident, you know, so you can only imagine, you know, what had happened. But then when you see her, and she was actually looking and doing and participating a lot better than the, you know, initial report said. So it does give you hope, you know, you hope that everyone's able to get up, get moving, you know, and can achieve the goals that both they and their families want to achieve.
Is that why you became a therapist?
Yeah, you know, I you know, definitely love helping people, you know, helping people get better, helping people achieve any goals. So,
how much do you think the support, mom or somebody always being with Christina, how much of a difference do you think that makes to her progress, to Christina's achieving her goals?
I think it definitely helped Christina, both between like her, you know, her mom was here most of the time, and then occasionally, you know, her sister, her dad were here. But I think in general, because even though like we're with them for 3 hours a day, you know, there's a lot of downtime, and I think the family was great of, you know, constantly encouraging Christina, constantly, you know, keeping her active, keeping her mind active, and I think that helped with the progress. And I think just in general, having someone constantly here, I think it helped raise her spirits, you know, helped encourage her, so she didn't have those moments of, you know, sad or depressed, you know. I think it just kept her kind of that happiness continue and just kept pushing her forward.
You're so good, I don't need to ask
Okay.
you. You were excellent.
Thank you.